Oh, well, good. Good to know.
And we said goodbye at like 11:28. So, yeah, I was like getting worried. Well, I don't know if it will automatically shut off, but when you make the Zoom meeting and when you time it, I don't know if it will shut off or keep going. It would shut off.
You go in and re-end it.
I don't know, Dan said he got out there and the car started. The one he had to go pick up. He said, Garrison, he said good thing because it was too big for the trailer. So it wouldn't fit on the trailer.
Oh, it must have. I just got a YouTube notice according to Flint. Yeah.
That's good.
So that must be what you, didn't you put it in
So
YouTube?
now we're on
Yeah.
YouTube live. Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah. Cool. Cool, everybody. What's going on here? Oh, I'm just kidding. There you go. Come on, people, let's go. I'm good. Spencer Wagey, my man, North Dakota State. Good to see you on here, buddy. I'm good. It's probably not cold at all out in Fargo. Spence, good to see you. I just was thinking about you actually. So good to see you on here. How excited am I going to be to go to the George Paul Memorial Arena this weekend in Del Rio? Jacked out of my mind to work where it's 38 degrees on the Mexico border. Holy crap. That's cold down. I'm going to talk about that anyway. So, I'm not even there and I can hear David. Garrison, that's because he's sitting with you. Did you see that? Garrison's such a dick. Whoops. Let's see. We'll do this. Yeah, frozen tundra. Everybody's the frozen tundra. Yep. That's what the Canadians keep telling me, how it's not that cold here because it's minus 27. That's Celsius. If they meet at like minus 45, but minus 27 Celsius, that we have had that here. It's 10 below is pretty close. Yeah. Tootie, minus 18. Thanks for the weather update, Tootie. So, David, Dave, we see you. We know we can feel your presence. Hi, Christy. Good to see you. And then now I'll talk about the cold and the theme today. Then everybody's going to chime in. Well, I don't know why I start it. I don't know why. Yeah. We know that it's warm in Florida. Let's just get that. I'll get that out of the way right away. I got to wait for people, though. It's not quite time. Arizona. Taco Tuesday at the Quarter Circle S, Shetland. Good to see you. Oh, my God. Robin, don't ask. She's a smart aleck. I saw that. Yeah. Thank you, though. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, North Dakota kid coaching Montana State. Should be a good hire, I think. Should be all right. You can't, people are like, offensive coordinator in Nebraska. They're not coming to Montana State. They'll take a pay cut in half to be a head coach. That's the difference. It's hard to. Yeah, David, plumb fine on the powder. Yeah, we know it's set. Look, let me just say this about anybody from California that's going to brag about the weather. Let's just get this out of the way. I got one yesterday. Somebody just said, 70 here in sunny California. You know the problem, though? You're in California. I went this weekend to a full restaurant. I went to a bar. People sitting side by side at the bar at stools. So I'll tell you what. Let's just make a deal right now. I will take minus 25 degrees Fahrenheit, what it's supposed to be in 2 nights, and you can have California. That's all I'm going to say. Nose hairs freeze together when you breathe. That's not even cold. We know it's 82 in Florida and Arizona. We know. Okay, everybody's giving. I don't need weather updates. Just let me throw that out there. Let me just throw it out there. We don't. Somebody said 103 degree difference between like Alaska and Arizona. Big tip for you. 1 week ago today, it was 65 degrees here. A week ago today, it was 65 in Billings. Right now, it's minus 10. That's a 75 degree difference in the same town in 1 week. Yeah. Coming to Bozeman, March 22nd. Okay. I should start, I suppose. Some good matchups in the 15-15 this weekend. Take your word for that. Hi, can you shout me out, please? Hi, Riley. Don, Riley. Hi, shout out. There you go. I do look at 15, that kind of stuff, but not. I know that whether I'm there or not, it's going to happen. Oh, that Kyle Jones. Thanks, Kyle. Oh, I know. 70 in California, and you still have to stay inside. That's a good. Kyle, that's a first. That's your first good one ever. Snow blowing was great because I grew up with no snowblower. Still don't. It's not my snowblower. I'm living in a house that, if Butch is watching, Butch is out. I'm just taking care of the snow. Okay. All right. Here we go. Shorty. Oh, by the way, everybody that asks where Shorty is every week, Shorty is watching today. Shorty, thank God. Chime in, Shorty. Oh, he says, as a native Californian, amen, brother. So, Shorty, thank God you're here so everybody knows you're alive. Phew. Phew. Okay, first of all, let's get after this. The theme of today's show, in case you didn't know, and hey, how about we not talk about the weather? Come on, Adele. Hello, it's me. Adele's a friend. She's the guest girl. Adele, we won't, but I will say the theme kind of is the cold today. The theme today is winter. That's sort of the theme. So I know that anywhere you are in Montana, it's below zero right now. Cut Bank, Montana this morning, or as we used to call it as kids, Butt Crank. Cut Bank, Montana, way up on the high line of Montana by the Canadian border. Hi, Lori. The Canadian border, minus 38 degrees Fahrenheit. That ain't any of that stupid wind chill. It was minus 56 wind chill this morning in beautiful Cut Bank, Montana. The purple and gold of the Cut Bank Wolves. That's right. Hey, Nash, happy birthday. There's your shout out. There you go. Melanie, my week has been pretty good, actually, I'll tell you. So the theme is winter and cold. So I'm going to say my shirt of choice today, thanks to my friend Lori and Ron Nelson up in Alaska, the Palmer High School, the Fighting Moose of Palmer High School. There you go. Go Moose. It's probably cold there. It might be. Jeff Shearer gives Shorty the flip-off sign. That's good. So anyway, what's that?
I think your sister's on.
Really? Which one?
Lori Rasmussen.
Oh, that's Pete's. That's my sister-in-law. Oh. Lori's married to Pete, the Justice of the Pete. I wonder, is Pete on? Lori, let us know. Right away, somebody says favorite PBR bowl. I don't know. That's just work. Isn't that terrible? When somebody asks me PBR stuff, whatever. I don't have a favorite PBR bull. I really don't. My favorite bull of all time was Little Yellow Jacket. Good enough? I like Chicken on a Chain. He was cool. But now Bruiser, because he's so friendly. He's hurt right now. I think he did something at home. But anyway, I'd rather hear about the weather than... I didn't miss that, Jennifer. Sorry about that. Hank Jr. has a song about Cut Bank. Hey, by the way, speaking of, somebody asked if I had a good week. Still available. Still available podcast according to Flint that released last Thursday. Ned Ledoux. Getting some great reviews, good numbers. If you haven't had a chance to go, we posted the links right here on Facebook, and you can just here's how I like to watch it. Go to the one where we just put the YouTube deal. Click on it; it'll just take you right to it. Even I'm not going to say my dad could do it. Logan's dad could probably do it. My mom even can do that for my dad. All you got to do is just click on the box on the previous post here on Facebook. Ned Ledoux, just one of the most genuine guys you would ever meet, and just I was really happy with that one. We do not have a new According to Flint podcast coming out this Thursday, but the next Thursday, what would the date there be? The 18th. On the 18th, we do have another podcast coming out. And I will tell you right now, I usually do a big reveal, but get ready. It's hey, it's all right. People come. It's Randy Bernard. Great one with Randy Bernard, one of Garth Brooks' co-managers. So that's everybody. That is a great one. So catch that, Randy Bernard. But I'm going to say this. I never say this. Somebody just asked if I owned a bull, what would I name it? I'm going to name it. Here's my big joke. If I had a bull, I'd name it Acid. Because then I'd say, here's Cooper Davis, and tonight he's on acid. There you go. But I will say, we recorded a podcast. When I say we, not Bo. He wasn't here. I don't know what he was doing. Logan and I, David sat and did something. We recorded a podcast, and it was one that I was nervous for. I was tired at the end. It'll come out March 4th. Don't like to reveal this early, but I'm going to say right now, I am proud to say this morning I did an hour and a half with the legendary Steve Warner. Oh, my God. We had some fun for the weekend. Some fools never learn. 2 teardrops floating down a river. I'm already taken. You people have no idea what a thrill that was. Anyway, I reached out to some friends and said, any insight on Steve Warner, legendary Steve Warner? Flint, have you considered interviewing Clint Bronger and Greg Potter? After I just said I interviewed Steve Warner, my answer is going to be no. Greg Potter's Australia. He lives in Australia, Rube. What was I? Oh, all I heard was not a lot of insight into Steve Warner, except he's the nicest guy in the music business. 2 or 3 people told me that. They were right. So anyway, that's coming out in a couple weeks on the March 4th, right? Is that what we March 4th? So watch for that one. A lot of Clint Brown. Listen, understand everybody. I got a lot of good friends that have been in the rodeo business, good friends that are current champions. If maybe take a look at what we're doing on the podcast. What's a good way of saying this take a look at what we're doing on a podcast. It's an hour conversation of, I don't know, it's a deeper, what do they call that? A long form interview. There's a little deeper, and there's just, I love seeing Clint Bronger and a lot of guys. Jess Lockwood right now. I'm giving Jess Lockwood another year or so. So, I don't know. I'm going for it's not, we're due to do another rodeo guy, but we're going to have 3 in a row here that aren't. Randy Bernard's in the rodeo business, but as far as just rodeo cowboys, that's not kind of I talk to those turds every day. So anyway, I like your advice, but I'll think on it. Let's see comments. So for somebody had one over here and I missed it. Anyway, I thought that, yes, Jerome Robinson would be good. Thanks. Like I said, what did I say last week? Talking to the people on Facebook Live is like being a teacher. When you're on this topic that you think you have them and you're like, listen, kids, no kidding. When JFK landed at Dallas Love Field, yeah, my mom last night cooked supper. Oh my God. You know, when you think you're really onto something and somebody just throws random crap at you? This is my Tuesday. That is my, you know that, Brooke, because you're one of them. No. What do I think about Houston? By the way, Haley Kinsel would be good. Yeah. What do I think about Houston canceling? Hi, Tracy. What would be a good, I mean, honestly, I don't know how to answer that. It sucks. But it's not a normal rodeo. Here's what I would say. I had that talk to Houston Rodeo. What you're dealing with, I actually had that topic, so good job. You're dealing with livestock shows, a rodeo, and concerts, all in one big 20-day extravaganza. So everybody, when they see the Houston rodeos canceled, they say, oh, another rodeo canceled. What I would suggest to you, a week from Thursday, listen to my podcast with Randy Bernard. Remember, he talks, I'll reveal a little. He talks about how, especially at those big stock shows, the rodeo has become second fiddle. What pays for everything? The concert. Go to the rodeo when the bareback riding starts, when it first starts. There's nobody there. When I say nobody, that not literally nobody. They all come for the concert after. So when you're talking about the Houston Livestock Show, if they can't have concerts, Cheyenne is the same way. It's just not connected. It's not, the rodeo is one ticket, the concert's another ticket. Houston, it's one ticket. So if people aren't touring on a concert tour, if they're not out there doing shows, you don't have concerts to pay for the rodeo. You have crowd control issues. You can't finance everything that's going on because there's partial crowds. By the time you go through the whole process of paying and making it feasible financially, it's not worth it. So my thought is, I could see it coming. I'm not surprised. So hopefully things will start moving the way that they're supposed to move. Cases down 40% across the country. So anyway, but somebody, I know what the question was. Do you hate the people? Something. Yeah, same guy, Randy Bernard. He kind of came up with the American. So yeah, that's him. Somebody just said, do you miss doing small rodeos much? Well, I'm doing them now because we just did 3 weeks in Florida in little rodeo arenas in front of 1,800 people. And we're going to Del Rio, Texas this weekend to an outdoor arena. And by the way, Del Rio, Texas, on the Mexican border, the far southern border of Texas, we are outdoors there. The high on Sunday, 40 degrees. That's cold in South Texas. You ever been in South Texas when it's like 33? Shorty, who's on here, he watched me one time. We were in San Antonio. We did this night deal, a private thing, and we had to go catch a chartered plane. The whole crew did. And it was like 33 degrees and windy in San Antonio, and I like to freeze my butt off. It was so cold. So Del Rio, 40 degrees. I'm sure the people will swarm to sit outside in the wind in Del Rio. So anyway, yes, they are. Houston is doing some junior livestock show things privately, but not in the whole facility. Anyway, Super Bowl last week, my prediction was wrong. I did it with no emotion. I wasn't like cheering go Chiefs. I just kind of went from what I thought. And I picked the Chiefs by 10, and that was stupid. I even said on my little video, I'm terrible at this. I suck at this, whatever. So I was wrong. Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback to ever play. That's it. And I'm a Packers fan. I'm a Brett Favre fan, Aaron Rodgers. He's the great. Boy, how tired of the word GOAT is everybody. Holy crap. Do we got to use GOAT anymore? Can we just say, man, he's good? But NFL, overall, not that good a game, but what a great job to get through a season and have a Super Bowl. How lucky, how incredibly lucky, and this will lead to a topic. Believe it or not, it's going to lead to a topic that I talked with my hands about. How lucky is the NFL that the Super Bowl was scheduled in Florida? I mean, what if the Super Bowl would have been scheduled in LA? Well, it would have moved. Wouldn't it? It would have had to move. But A lot of people said they were packed in that stadium. If you watch the pregame, they let 25,000 people in there. Every other seat was filled with a cardboard cutout of a person. So on the big shots of the game, it looked full. So it wasn't full. But now it's amazing to me still after all these months, how many people this is pigeonholing a little bit. How many people, especially in the rodeo business, don't understand how all of this works. That it's a regional, it's local governing. Like a lot of people, they put 25,000 at the Super Bowl. Why can't we have rodeos with 4,000 people? Well, where are you? You can in Rapid City. How about Rapid City? Just sold out. Guess what? Their governor, it's funny how the attitude and tone of leadership can carry over to the attitude and tone of people. They don't discount all of it. They don't downplay it. They just say, here's the information. If you want to go sit shoulder to shoulder with somebody at a rodeo, understand this could happen. Understand this is what could happen. And it's their choice. So it's funny how that tone carries over. But you got to compare apples to apples a little bit. That you can't compare the Super Bowl in Tampa, Florida to a local rodeo that's restricted to 800 people that can't pay for anything. So, look at right now, I just read an article on my way here. Boise State's men's basketball team is thinking of moving their last few home games 20 miles down the road to Nampa, to the Idaho Center, so that they can have fans in the stands. 20 miles. And the regulations are different. In the meantime, our PBR just got shut down in Nampa. So, but anyway, that just goes to show the difference in certain spots. So don't compare a rodeo in somewhere, in Livingston, Montana, which is a struggle, to the Super Bowl. Listen, Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, not quite Kristi Noem in a lot of ways. Anyway, not quite Kristi Noem in their philosophy of, which South Dakota, their counties can do whatever, but they kind of open the doors. Florida has regulations, but it's pretty open. Somebody just said 25,000 people, and they tried to shut down our branding with 300 people. Not in Tampa. They didn't. So that's my point, but only catch half of it. That's okay. I think Billings is, somebody just asked if I have a podcast. Let me guess, on Instagram. Yeah, I do. It's called According to Flint. It's very good. So that started last summer. So, I know, Bo, you're a turd. I need you sitting there doing that though, because see, the guys in here are catching on. They used to, at first they talked a lot and I made them be quiet. Then for a while they just sat and did nothing. Now they're catching on that I don't mind a little feedback. I believe Billings is on the schedule in May still, as a matter of fact. So yes. Idaho is screwy. They can't decide what the hell they're doing. Michelle says that's kind of true, because Idaho, they were the first ones to kind of say that state government wise that they were going to drop everything. So this guy just asked if I'm going to be in Del Rio. Let's go over the cross section of the people. What have I said? Facebook, and for the ladies in the crowd, Brooke and Tony are here tonight. This is my analysis of crowd. Facebook is the people that sit down with their laptops, their iPads, and they watch for an hour. Instagram, you can watch the numbers. It goes from 80 to 40 to 30 to 90. It's click, click, click. But they don't just look in. They ask a question that I've already answered. So, any thoughts on the game itself? Thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. Your branding was in very Northern California. The key word there is California. How can you compare 25,000 people at the Super Bowl in Florida to your branding in California? I believe that was that my topic? Look at me being snarky. So they're the one. Instagram, they scream by there and just doo, 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 doo. It's, anyway, whatever. Look at some Earl. You're right, Earl. I'm not going to. That's inside. I'm watching. I'm just watching some. You want tickets? Delane says, I want tickets to Glendale. For sale. Billings, somebody thought Billings, it's always been in April, but I think it's May this year because we had to move so many events around in April this whole year that it got moved a little later. It got pushed down. Hopefully that'll help us bring more people into there. We'll be allowed to do some more things. Thoughts on the game. The Tampa Bay defense was dialed into everything the Kansas City Chiefs wanted to do, and Patrick Mahomes still did some amazing things but Tampa Bay was so well coached and whatever. Hey, Clifford, you keep every week you say you want to hear your Dylan college stories about Flint. You can tell them because I know what I was like at college, so if you're telling college stories about me, they're made up. How's that? Clifford, I finally said your name, but there are no wild college stories from Dylan. There you go. So I will say this. I wonder sometimes, can I ask this question? Do people, especially in the Western lifestyle, because that's who I'm friends with on Facebook a lot. Listen, I watch the game because my background and my coaching background says I'm going to watch the dang Super Bowl. So if you're going to just watch the Super Bowl to hate the Super Bowl, don't watch the Super Bowl. I mean, I got a friend that the whole time bitched about the commercials and the politics and what? You didn't know that was coming? Like, holy crap. I'm going to say this too. Here I go. Get me going. We know I could make a list of people who are going to hate the halftime show. Let's just really wait, you're in the rodeo business and you didn't know who The Weeknd was? Really? That's surprising. Yet we still play his songs at PBR and rodeos, and you probably didn't even know it was him. I can't feel my face when I'm with you. Yeah, I will say this about the halftime show. You can predict negativity. Oh, let's get George Strait. Yeah, right. George Strait at the halftime show. George Strait's the greatest. He's like Tom Brady, but can sing. Greatest of all time. But what does George Strait do? He stands there and plays songs. The halftime show is a show. When I went to the Super Bowl, it was Katy Perry. And when it ended, my girls were like, that's it? Because they thought we were there for a Katy Perry concert. For basically, is that it? Come on, we got to watch football again? It's a show. Big news, The Weeknd, if I read right, he paid for a lot of that. He paid for the production of that show. And if you understand what's going on right now, there's a lot of restrictions that they got to adhere to doing a show. Well, yeah, why did the guys have stuff over their faces? Because they probably had to have masks on, and he had a reason for it too. It was some bigger thing. Am I a huge fan of The Weeknd? I'll tell you, that song Blinded by the Light, it's 80s, man. It almost sounds like Aha. Take on me. Remember that song? But he's a great showman, but he paid for that production. So get off his butt a little. We know you're going to hate. Shelly Murphy, if you're out there, I know you're going to hate. You post it every year that you hate the halftime show. I know, Shelly. It's okay. Everybody, chill out. No wonder people send me nasty messages. You bitch about everything. Oh, my God. Here we are. Here's what I thought. I thought we were lucky at all to have a Super Bowl. At all. But I think there's a lot of folks, like I said, don't understand all the restrictions. You can't just do this huge halftime show like they did with Prince and Katy Perry. It was very restricted. You could tell by where he was. They came out on the field. It was a little more basic. So give the guy a break. He sang some good songs. And his song is the theme song of 30 Below Wind Chills. I can't feel my face when I'm with you because it's frozen and I hate it. There you go. I sang today. Let's see. So that's There, I gotta have a negative rant for a while. I'm complaining about people complaining all the time. That makes sense, right? I mean, and yeah, I do like the commercials. And yeah, they are going to talk about equality and inclusion, and Bruce Springsteen's going to pretend he's a middle America farmer. Bruce Springsteen, I will say this. He's talking about the reunited states of America, and Bruce Springsteen's this is a guy that wouldn't play in North Carolina because the governor wanted to let guys pee in the girls' bathroom, so Bruce Springsteen stood up and wouldn't go. But he's doing a commercial about middle America in Kansas with a cowboy hat on. Give me a break, Bruce. I liked the commercial, and then I went, is that freaking Bruce Springsteen? What? Yeah. I mean, that's the pick. That we should vote on who should have been in that commercial instead. It was a great commercial. I liked the commercial, and then I went, that's Bruce Springsteen. Like, he's from New Jersey. Like, I don't know. Whatever. Why the jockstraps on their head? There's a article about it. Oh, by the way, you people, I told everybody to have hot toddies tonight. We didn't have heat. So Logan brought us ice just from outside, and so by the way, once again, oh no, we didn't need a hot toddy. We're good. And I'll tell you why. The official beverage of According to Flint and Tuesday Night Live, Pendleton Whiskey. The choice tonight, the usual, Pendleton 1910, on the rocks with a splash of water. Do you have Sprite? Oh, just ice. 1910 and ice. Because why? Because it warms your soul. That's right. It warms your soul. Anyway, keep killing it. Okay, I'll read a couple comments. Didn't watch the game, but just that I'm not interested in football. Okay, thanks for telling me. Let's see. Don't bring up. I have not looked at comments here in a couple minutes, so I better. Cheetos was good. I don't remember. I'll tell you what I liked. The one thank Eric's always positive. My friend Eric Knutson from Haver, who lives in Vegas now. I'll tell you the one I liked was a Bud Light commercial, and it had all the old Bud Light commercial characters in it. That was really good. I liked it. Best thing about the Super Bowl was a streaker. Let me tell you a little story time with Uncle Flint here. That was no streaker. There have been, as far as I know, in the history of Montana State Bobcat football, 2 legit streakers. I was there for both of them. I was like junior high for one, high school age for another one. That guy with the thong, that ain't a streaker. Let me tell you what a streaker is. Full on, blowing in the wind, hand up like this streaker. They in the school newspaper at Montana State, I don't know, do you remember, Tony? Would you remember this? My mom would vouch for this. Full picture on the front of the school newspaper, this guy, and I mean, it's right there. Yeah, full face, everything. Posted a picture of him. Yep. Yeah. By the way, the guy that streaked at the Super Bowl made a bet on some site and made $374,000. Once again, Earl, don't believe everything you read on the internet. Nobody would post those odds. There's stuff going around the internet now worse than ever. Remember what I said about the National Enquirer? We used to sort through all that crap. Now we don't sort through it. We sell one to our neighbors. Yeah, I don't believe that for a minute. So anyway, I'm going to get to our fan of the week here in a second because it's a good one. Only enjoy hockey and rodeo. That's fine. I watched a football game. What was Travolta? I missed. What was his? I missed it.
True Green Lawn or something.
Oh, I missed that one. Somebody said they saw Travolta, and I missed it. I missed a couple of them. So, yeah, I like those deep, heartfelt. You know, the best was back when, like we talked last week, when Paul Harvey did the God Made a Farmer one. Yeah. I covered the Garth Brooks thing last week about this guy's tired of everyone complaining about Garth Brooks singing Joe Biden's presidential deal. Me too. I gave a whole spiel last week. We have complained for 4 years about cancel culture and, oh, he's a conservative, we're not watching him. Garth Brooks, I can say this, when I say something, it's backed up by facts on here, publicly said, I am a registered Republican, but I'm going to go sing a song at an inauguration. Garth Brooks goes and sings Amazing Grace at a president's inauguration, and he's the fourth Dixie chick. I mean, it's BS. I'm so sick of that crap. So no, I'm a supporter of Garth Brooks. There you go. Don't give me that crap. My Aunt Betty said oh, that's right. Thank you, Tootie. The streaker at the Bobcat game, my old Aunt Betty, married to my Uncle Hans, claimed she opened the gate for him at the end of the field and let him out. I don't know if she really did, but she said she did. Hung it on the chain link. Whoa. Hey. Was Albuquerque moved to a different day? I don't know. Was Albuquerque moved to a different day? I will say this about our schedule. It's week to week. I got another update this last week that I can't share everything. We're really just trying to get events in. All I can say is the next 3 weeks will be in Texas. Del Rio, Pecos, Longview, Texas. Small markets. Again, glad to be going to Texas. Small markets. Some more. That's all really I can tell you. March looks pretty good. I think we're still on for Glendale, Arizona around that weekend of the 13th-ish. Glendale, I think Kansas City's maybe still on, possibly Louisville. So, there you go. That's all I can't answer on a lot of them because we just don't know. So anyway, so this week I'm seeing what I'm missing. Again, I want to emphasize, according to Flint, go to the links we put here on Facebook. Watch Ned Ledoux. Great podcast. So, should I get to this? Because I'm going to go around the room for tonight's question. Has PETA shown up at any events this year? No, we've been in Florida out in the country, so no. Jess Lockwood comes back this weekend. I did know that, Julie. Thank you. Thoughts on Winfield Jr. giving Hill the deuces? Was it worth the penalty? Thanks, Kyle. I do know what you're talking about, and damn right it deserved a penalty. I get sick of that. I don't like the taunting stuff. So, just celebrate with your team. Chase Outlaw, I don't know if he's coming back. Here's a topic. Garth Brooks ruined Western clothing for a decade and country musicians' hats forever. Okay, good topic. So, we had a guy, everybody complains about Tim McGraw's hats, Garth Brooks' hat, because they're not shaped like cowboys. They're not shaped like rodeo guys. We had a guy 2 years ago, Ryan Weaver, who's a great patriot. He's a former helicopter pilot, lost a brother and a brother-in-law, and now he sings. And he got a cowboy hat, and he had it all shaped like a country music singer, and we said something to him. And he told this story, so listen up, and I respect him for it. He said when he got that hat, it was a Milano hat, a Larry Mahan model Milano hat, and Larry said, I'll shape that up for you the real way, like a bull rider or a rodeo cowboy would shape it. And Ryan told me this. He said, I told Larry Mahan, I don't deserve to have my hat shaped like that. Rodeo cowboys have their hat shaped like they do because they've earned the right to wear their hat a certain way. He said, I'm not going to wear a cowboy hat around a PBR to try and get people to think that I'm a bull rider, like many of you in the crowd do. He said, I'm a country music singer, and I have not earned the right to have my hat shaped like that. They're the bull riders. They're the stars. They're the real cowboys. I'm a country music singer. So I have my hat shaped like a country music singer. So we can't expect all hats to be shaped like rodeo cowboys. We've earned the right to wear our hats shaped like rodeo cowboys. And that came from an actual singer. And that's how I look at it now. If Tim McGraw wants to wear a black straw hat with it bent down in the back, he's Tim McGraw. Guess what? He's making more than any rodeo cowboy out there. He can wear his hat however he wants. Garth Brooks, I think Garth Brooks can wear his damn hat however he wants. And that's the difference. Bull riders, bareback riders, calf ropers, rodeo cowboys shape their hats a certain way. That doesn't mean that's the only way you can shape a hat. Also, I would bet Resistol, American, Milano, they probably don't care how people shape their hats. But somebody bought them. That's probably good, isn't it? So there you go. Whew, rant for the day. You people, drink up. Somebody just said they were thirsty. Sorry. I'm not. But I just thought that's like, yeah. All right. Never understood why it matters how someone cares about the shape of that. I know. All right. Cooper Tire Fan of the Week. This week's topic. Because I watched the Super Bowl. I think Jim Nantz is wonderful. Tony Romo he's good. He's not real polished, which is probably good. If I had to pick. So anyway, Cooper Tire Fan of the Week. Favorite sportscaster of all time. Color man, play-by-play guy. I like Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. They did good. I would rather, if I was to watch the Super Bowl, I'd rather have either Joe Buck and Troy Aikman or Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. Do you know why people don't like Chris Collinsworth? Chris Collinsworth falls into, because he tells the truth. It's like Joe Beaver has talked about, because he tells the truth. But I'd rather have those two because I do like Jim Nantz, but I think those are better teams. So Jim Nantz has got to be in that category because he does so many things. He does the Final Four all the time. He does the Master. Hello, friends. As the azaleas are in full bloom on the 17th hole here in Augusta. Yeah. I think Jim Nantz has to go in there. So, put people on the spot here. Bo, best sportscaster of all time. Al Michaels. That was what I saw. One person at Al Michaels, and remember his big start. We remember, you guys. You don't. You probably don't. In Lake Placid at the 1980 Olympics, the movie The Miracle with the hockey team. Do you believe in miracles? Yes, that was Al Michaels. He was young. He had real hair then. Tony, best sportscaster of all time. Rocky Erickson in Billings, Montana. I'm Rocky Erickson. I like Rock. He's a good guy, too. He's a good man. Rocky Erickson, a great voice of Montana sports in Montana. Brooke Wagner. Is it your birthday?
It's not my birthday.
Who somebody said?
I don't know.
Yeah, did you see that? Okay.
It's not my birthday.
No. Anyway.
I commented already. I said Harry Carey.
Hi, everybody. This is Harry Carey along with Steve Stone. Afternoon, me and Rick Sutcliffe on my podcast talked about there was something special before Wrigley Field had lights. Every game was in the afternoon. Harry Carey and Steve Stone. On the mound's the Red Baron. It's Rick Sutcliffe, the mighty right-hander out of Missouri. Hey, we got a great show lined up. Harry Carey. Yeah. Darrell Waltrip going NASCAR. Logan going Boogity Boogity. Good ones, everybody. There was some kind of local, some obscure ones. Cato Butler from Helena was one, does the play-by-play. Somebody said Cliff Hagfelt from Scobie. Those small town guys are the best. Somebody brought up Mick O'Lean from the University of Montana. He was a Grizzly, but he passed away recently. So Mick was good. He had a lot of years in Missoula. I'll tell you, which do you think, any guess on what got probably the most? Howard Cosell, speaking of sports. I remember every morning on the radio, morning everybody, this is Howard Cosell speaking of sports. And he'd have a big commentary. And he was, it was the team of Frank Gifford, Howard Cosell, and Don Meredith on Monday Night Football will still be the best ever. Dandy Don was hilarious. Don Meredith, turn out the lights, the party's over. That was him. I know a lot of people are throwing in rodeo ones. Sucking up again. I don't know that rodeo announcers are not necessarily sports commentators. Rodeo announcers are in the entertainment business more than the sports commentating business. And let me be completely upfront here. I think rodeo announcers, if they leaned towards sports commentating a little bit, that it would be easier to bear sometimes with some. So, yeah, okay, Donnie Gay, and I guess I get away from rodeo because I listen to it. Donnie Gay's great. I think in the Western sports world, the two greatest color commentators are Justin McBride and Joe Beaver. I think, and in the booth, the voices of the NFR are Jeff Metters and Butch Knowles. They're the best. But somebody did bring up Craig Hummer. Craig Hummer does everything from synchronized swimming at the Olympics to drone racing one day and flies in and does a PBR the next day and is effective and believable and wonderful and respected at all of them. So I think Craig Hummer is one of the most talented guys I've ever met. Howard Cosell was huge. How about Nelly, Keith Jackson? His college. Where did he go to college? Anybody? Washington State. Yeah. Keith Jackson was so great. Well, probably the best, I said the Monday Night Football team, but when I was a kid, that indicated it was the late NFC game on CBS leading into 60 Minutes. And when you heard tick, 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 you got butterflies in your stomach because you know you had to go to school the next day. Pat Summerall and John Madden. Always a Cowboys game, or they had that late NFC game on CBS. Harry Carey. Somebody said Hot Rod Hundley. He's the Utah Jazz. He was the Utah Jazz. Speaking of the streaker, nobody calls a streaker or a rabbit. He does play by. There was a rabbit on a field one time, and he called it Kevin Harlan on the radio. Kevin Harlan on the radio is really good. He called the streaker. He's down at the 20. He makes a move. He did the whole thing. I said Al Michaels, Jim Nantz, Joe Buck. This isn't the winner, because the theme here is winter and cold. So I'll get to the winner. The correct answer to the greatest sportscaster of all time. Oh shoot, who was the one? There was one guy had it, and my mom, but she can't win. Not eligible to win. But the correct answer is Vin Scully. Sorry everybody. Long time Dodgers announcer. If you know what's cool too, if you watch the Kevin Costner movie For Love of the Game, when he throws a no-hitter, and Vin Scully is the commentator in that as well. Vin Scully was the best. You know, I think it should be noted that on Saturday afternoon, when the temperature is above 80 degrees on artificial turf, he bats .321. Vin Scully. He always thought it should be noted. But the winner, this guy, so Kevin Shea brought this one. He was the only one that brought it. This guy is a regular guest on one of my favorite shows, The Dan Patrick Show. And he's a great guest. And he's an older guy. He's actually retiring. What's amazing about the job he does is he doesn't see very well. He watches a monitor real close. He's like almost legally blind. And he can call a game like nobody. I don't watch hockey even, but I know that one of the greatest sportscasters of all time is Doc Emmerich. He calls hockey on NBC. Doc Emmerich, he's amazing. And I see him on Dan Patrick, and the passion he has for the game, it's just all about hockey. So tonight, with the Palmer, Alaska Moose, it's below zero outside right now. We're rattling our ice. Kevin Shea, you are my Cooper Tire Fan of the Week for bringing out the great Doc Emmerich. Tootie, you're right, though. Anyway, there you go. Fan of the Week. So, what's that? Oh, Brooke from the Chancey Williams, from the Younger Brothers band. So that's not you. No. That's not you. But you're blonde and pretty hot, like Brooke. Do you play the fiddle? Good. She can sing. Yeah, it was Brooke Latka. Yeah. Oh, Kyle Jones. Yeah. Harry Doyle. He's right in there. But he's fictional. It's Bob Uecker. Just a bit outside. And he says, remember Remember what he says? He swears, and the guy goes, "You can't say that." Ah, hell, nobody's listening anyway. Harry Doyle was so good. Listen, oh, that's what he said. One damn hit. You can't say goddamn on the radio. Nobody's listening anyway. That's what it was. Listen, thank you, everybody, for joining us. What am I forgetting? Again, go check out the Ned Ledoux podcast available. Well, they're all available. Check them out. We go all the way back to Joe Beaver, Justin McBride. If you haven't seen those, they're all, Dick Enberg, I forgot that one. They're all out there on YouTube. The latest Ned Ledoux is next Thursday. Really great hour with Randy Bernard, my former boss at the PBR, now one of the co-managers for Garth Brooks. A lot of insight on a lot of great things. Like I said this morning, interviewed Steve Warner for an hour and a half. It was so great. When they always say, don't meet your heroes because they might not be what you expect. Steve Warner was above and beyond what I would have ever expected. In the words of Steve Warner, he said, "I'm a great musician and a great artist, but I'm a really crappy star." And that's a compliment. He's a crappy star. He's just a guy. Anyway, that'll be out March 4th. But that kind of made my month a little bit. Then I went home and took a nap. What else am I going to do? It's 10 below zero, for God's sakes. And getting colder in Montana. All right, next 3 weeks in Texas. Del Rio, Texas this weekend. Fly there on Friday. Bozeman to Dallas to Del Rio. So thanks again from all of us here. Like you had other things to do outside. What are you, grilling outside? We don't care, Arizona and Florida. None of us are. So thanks for joining me, Mom and Dad. Thanks for joining me as always. And we're good to go. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.